Am I the jerk for refusing to be a stepfather to my fiancé children? I'm a 47-year-old male with 2 children, one son Jack 20 and one daughter Ella 13 from my late wife. My wife died while giving birth to our daughter due to some complications during the process. Jack was 7 when my daughter was born, and I immediately had him in therapy to help with the grief of losing his mother because I didn't want him to blame his sister. It worked very well because my son loves his baby sister to bits and has never, not even in an argument, held my wife's death over her. Before I started dating, I asked my children if they were okay with it. I gave them as much time as they wanted to think about it with no pressure. They said they were okay with it after having secret meetings in their rooms and making little plans and stuff, which I thought was very cute. Now on to the current issue. I've been with my fiancée for 3 years total, engaged for 6 months. She moved into my house after I proposed with her 2 children, a boy, 17, and a girl, 14, because my house. It was much bigger and had more room. As the relationship got serious, I suggested we sit down and ask the children if they wanted a stepparent or just a parent-spouse type relationship going forward. Both set of children emphasized on the parent-spouse relationship, which me and fiancé respected. Me and my fiancé also decided that we would be taking care of our respective children, financially, socially, etc. This didn't mean not helping each other occasionally, but we were each responsible for our own children. We both didn't want more children, and I got a vasectomy to prevent any accidental pregnancies. This worked okay for the first few months of us living together. My fiancé was responsible for the food, laundry, school, etc. of her children, while I was responsible for the same for my children. My fiancé has a 9-to-5 job while I run my own business, so I do often have more free time as compared to her. The main issue started on Jack's 20th birthday, which was a month ago. I got him a brand new car of his choice with modification and stuff. He was stuck having to drive his sister to ballet practice, but he sucked it up for his dream car. Everything was okay at the birthday dinner, but later, when it was just me and my fiancé in our bedroom, she said we needed to talk. Apparently her children want me to be their stepfather now because they've seen how much I love my own children. They want to join me, my children, on the trips we take around the world, and they want to get cool gifts too. Now I would have been okay with this, but the way she worded it just rubbed me the wrong way. She was only talking about the trips and the gifts, nothing more. She didn't say anything about getting to know each other better, just trips and gifts. Now the trips I take with my kids are to visit their maternal family around the world. They live in 3 countries, and I've always made sure that my children have had a close relationship with all of them. As for the gifts, my children mostly only get gifts on birthdays, Christmas, or if they've achieved one of the goals set for them in school or extracurriculars. Like when Ella won a ballet competition last year and I got her a new phone, stuff like that. I told my fiancé flat out that it looked like her children only wanted me as a stepfather to get gifts and be invited on trips. I said while I understood they were children, it was her job to correct them and tell them that forming relationships just to use people isn't a nice thing to do. I would have been happy to form a relationship with them, but the fact that their motives were only expensive gifts was absolutely disgusting, especially since she was encouraging it. She tried backtracking by saying that they are children and young, and how they didn't know better. She also tried using how she doesn't make as much as me and can't spoil them like I can to guilt me, but I wouldn't budge because in my opinion she's the one that's supposed to tell them the better. She's supposed to teach them how wrong this mindset is. Besides, we had a prior agreement. My fiancé has tried bringing this up again, but I refuse to change my mind. I've also talked to my children, who have said that they would not really be happy if fiancé's children called me dad. So that's only made me a little more firm in my decision. My children have always come first to me and always will. However, with how pushy my fiancé is being, I've started to doubt if maybe I'm the one in the wrong and being stubborn for no reason. So am I the jerk for refusing to be a stepfather to my fiancé's children? Am I the jerk for calling my sister-in-law a mistress in front of everyone after she said I deserve paternity? My brother had extramarital affair and he divorced my sister-in-law and got married to my current sister-in-law, his mistress. He basically ditched his wife and got married to this stupid woman. And our family is trying to accept her because of my brother, my sister-in-law. On this Sunday on our family gathering, asked my wife to prove that our daughter is actually mine. We are both browns, all of us, and I am on the more fair side, but my daughter came out as completely brown. Sister-in-law said to my wife that it would be nice if she takes paternity test to prove it to our family that the child is mine. She said that my daughter could have inherited me and had to be a little fair, as in skin. My wife couldn't say anything because of sudden shock, but I told her that my wife doesn't need to prove anything. And she's not gonna be proving herself. She said that it's best that I find out about my heritage after she said that. I said she's a mistress, so she is maybe experienced or inexperienced. My mom pulled me aside and she asked me why would I say that out loud in front of everyone. I said with my loud voice that a second-rate mistress is questioning my wife and she should not be having an affair with married men. I left with my wife and my brother asked me and my wife to apologize to his wife. I said, I will never apologize to anyone and I won't let my wife to do so even if she wants to. He said he didn't want to stay with someone, his ex, because of arranged marriage, and I replied with that I don't care, his wife is still a mistress and a stupid mistress to ask other women for paternity. My family is broken, in fact we broke off because of that witch mistress, but I will never apologize to her or my brother for her accusations towards my wife. So am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for buying my niece a car and not my nephew? I 50 male have a niece and a nephew who are both 18 and just graduated. A few years ago when they were entering high school I made a deal with them. If they kept AB average their entire time in high school I would buy them any car of their choosing, within reason of course. We added a clause that they got 1 semester forgiven so they were able to mess up 1 semester and I wouldn't hold it against them. I felt like 7-8 semesters with A and B average was pretty fair. So my niece maintained her grades. She did mess up her sophomore year but otherwise was right on track. My nephew on the other hand pretty much never did right. We were lucky that he even passed every semester. I offered help, tutors, books, tried to make sure he was okay mentally, whatever he needed, but turns out he just straight up was not doing his work. He was doing good on tests but would never do his actual work, resulting in his grades being low. So last week was when my niece got her car. She chose a 2025 Toyota Camry. My nephew kept asking when he was going to get his and I told him he didn't stick to his end of the agreement, so he did not get a car. He still got a very nice gift back at graduation. Now him and his mom are angry with me and saying I'm favoring my niece, and now he is refusing to speak to me or his sister. I don't think I messed up but I'm starting to worry. So am I the jerk? Update, nearly 3 months later. So first I sat down with my nephew and his mom to talk it through. I explained that this was the deal he agreed to before starting high school and that he has known for years he was not getting the car. He has been aware of not getting the car for years and that his sister followed through, he did not. Well, all of that to no avail. He was still sulking and pretty angry. His mom felt I ruined his summer because he couldn't drive himself around, and because he refuses to speak to his sister she won't drive him either. I then discovered that my niece was being punished at home because she would not let nephew drive or ride in her car. I told him I was not forcing her to, and it pretty much turned into a fight between me and sister-in-law. My nephew still got a very nice grad gift from me and he does not have any learning disabilities, and also he had been aware he was not getting a car for around 3 years. As for my niece, she's been nothing but grateful. It was planned for her and her brother to move in with me, but only she has. I have not heard from or seen my sister-in-law or nephew in about a month. They have also both blocked and cut off my niece, which has been hard for her. Me and my wife are working on getting her into therapy, but otherwise, she is doing fine and we love having her. So things are still hard, but we are all working through it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit stories. All rights belong to the original author. This video is for narration/entertainment purposes only.